What's up everybody, Sam Smyers here. Today I want to show you how to make the lead to Marea by Fred again, and I will be making this sound in Serum. Now if you are watching this video, then you've probably seen some of my other videos, so please go ahead and subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and please give this video a like to help with that YouTube algorithm. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let me play you the sound that we're going to make today. So let me show you the MIDI. As you can see in the MIDI, I have the velocities different. Now, what I did in Serum is I did a few things in Serum that is going to affect how this lead sounds based upon how high and how strong that velocity is. So for example, these notes, the velocity is lower, you've got these a bit quieter, and some things happen to the sound where the filter does not raise up as much, so it's not as bright, whereas these notes that are held out pretty long, they sound a bit brighter. So I'll show you how we can do that in Serum. But this is the MIDI essentially, so you can see it and copy it. And then also, I do have something going on where I'm automating the reverb. And I'll show you how we can do that in Serum. I've got the initial preset loaded up on Serum. Let me first slow this attack down a tiny bit. And now for oscillator A, let's do analog saw rounded. And notice we've got the saw a bit more rounded, so it's a bit softer sounding. If I raise up this wavetable position, then it gets brighter. I'll leave it around there. Then I'll turn on my oscillator B, and I'll do the analog basic shapes, leave it on this sine wave, and I'll go to my warp knob and do the sync. And basically we've got the sync, and as I raise this up, it repeats this wave table and it almost raises up the pitch and also gives it some more harmonics. So let me just solo this oscillator B so you can hear what I mean. So I'll leave it around there. Let's turn on oscillator A again. And what I need to do is raise up the unison on both of these. So I'm going to do 7 for oscillator A and lower this detune. And then for oscillator B, I'm going to raise this up to 5 and I'll lower this detune as well. And then my alpha 1, I'm going to play around with this. So I'm going to adjust the rate to 2 bars. And basically in this song, I feel like the lead has a filter that is modulating or waving, maybe like a chorus effect or a flanger or a phaser, and then also maybe the level and the pitch or something is waving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we can do with this alpha 1 to get that effect. So the first thing we're going to do is assign it to the fine tuning of oscillator A, and then I'll adjust this to about 15, so it's very slight. And my envelope 1, I slow down the attack. I'll do my envelope 2. I'm going to slow down the attack to about 30 or so. And as I zoom in, you can see it's got that curve. So I want to keep that curve, and I'll make some adjustments to the sustain. So let's put it at about there, and then give a bit of a curve. So now I'm going to assign this envelope 2 to the filter. So let's turn on the filter, and we can have the filter kept on MG low 12. I'm going to turn on for A and B. Then assign the envelope 1 to the cutoff and hit Shift and Option. So we've got the modulation only going one way. And after I do that, I will adjust the filter. And raise up that drive. And now this velocity. Notice you've got this green little dot and these lines moving, and that's moving because I have the notes of that MIDI different velocities. And what I can do is I can assign this velocity to maybe the level or the cutoff. So I will assign this velocity to the level of oscillator A, adjust that level, and I'll do the same thing for oscillator B, adjust that level, and now let's play it. And then I'm going to assign it to the cutoff, and then I'll adjust this modulation to about 10. because we want it to be a bit subtle. We don't want it to get super bright on those longer notes. Let's go to my effects now and add on a compressor, and then I'll rearrange that compressor and add on a chorus. Raise up this rate. And you can see I just made some adjustments to these knobs. And I want to use this LFO1 to have some movement to the chorus as well. So I'll assign this LFO1 to the mix and adjust it. And I'm also going to use a phaser. So now you can hear how intense that phaser is. So I'm going to raise up this rate, adjust this depth. And then I want to modulate that mix as well of the phaser. So I will lower this mix and assign alpha 1 to this mix. And maybe I'll increase this depth a tiny bit. And then I'll add on some reverb. So I'm just going to make some adjustments to these knobs, this low cut, the high cut. And then what I want to do is add on a distortion, and let's go ahead and rearrange these, make these look a bit nicer. So let's add on some distortion, and I'm going to add on this down sample. So it's going to add that ringing, that high pitch ringing to the sound. And I'm lowering this mix to about 30%. We've got the drive at about 20%. And I'm putting it after the reverb because I actually want the entire sound to have that distortion or that downsampling effect on it. I don't want the reverb to be clean. I want it to be more dirty. So I'm doing the distortion after the reverb. And now I can add on an EQ, so I can do like a low cut. And then I just added a high shelf. And so now that's basically the sound. So now I did mention that I am automating the reverb, and this is automation for the macro knob. So I'm going to use this macro knob and assign it to the effects, and I will assign it to the reverb mix amount. So we can hear that increasing, and then I'm also going to assign it to the frequency. So you almost get this like washout effect. And I think about that works for me. So now let me play the full sound one more time. So that's how you make the lead to Marea by Fred again. If you would like to grab this preset, I'll put a link down below for you to grab it for free. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. And if you'd like to check out any of my Serum preset packs, I'll put links down below for those as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.